I just want to make something clear. There was another 2 or 3 shows that I seen and I didn't like them. But then I realised that they had actually released 2 or 3 episodes in one go. So I was like, fuck, I should watch those before I actually make an opinion. Anyway, Servant. Universally positive ratings. Apple TV Plus original. I watched it on Apple TV Plus. I don't... Yeah, he didn't create it, but M. Night Shyamalan has a hand in it, which I'll get into that later. Also, I just wanted to point out something. The description of this, talking about, unspeakable tragedy creates a rift in their marriage and opens the door for a mysterious force to enter their home. I get that they're trying to make it mysterious, but it's just... They've done that with a couple of other shows, including the ones that I mentioned earlier that I didn't like. It just... Apple needs to stop that. Anyway. Starring Lauren Ambrose, who, it was weird seeing her in this because the only other thing I've seen her in is 6 Feet Under, and she was a teenager, playing a teenager in that, and now she's in her 40s. Anyway, Nell Tiger Free, Rupert Grint. Toby Kebbell looks familiar, but I place him anywhere. The only thing I can think of is Seamus Coughlin, but obviously it's not him. Anyway, Tony Revolori. I have a problem with M. Night Shyamalan films. Although, to be honest, the only one that I've actually seen is The Sixth Sense, and I do think that was a good film. It's just that I'm aware that he has this reputation of doing the same thing over and over again with his films, where he will either make the audience think something isn't real, and then do a twist at the end where it is real, or make the audience think something is real, and then do a twist at the end where it isn't real. And for the first film, that's fine. But, with that pattern, it makes it predictable. So, going on this, my hopes weren't up, even though he's just a director and a producer. He's not actually a writer, as far as I know. Despite that, I enjoyed it. Rupert Grint's accent in this, it's weird. It's weird seeing him in general, because this is the only other thing I've seen him in, other than Harry Potter. And it's just weird seeing him so... I don't want to say old, because he's just in his 30s, but you know what I mean. And his accent, which is really good. And also the fact that he's swearing in it. Can't think what else to say. I don't know what... Right. I don't see how this is going to last as long as it did. It was like 40 episodes. Hell, I don't see how it's lasting 10. Because I feel like it's going to just be very episodic. Where, the first episode, they set up the characters and all that. The second episode, I don't remember. In the third episode, I've seen the first 3. Because they all released on the same day. The third episode, Toby, his character, gets splinters everywhere. And yeah, that was quite creepy, and it did set a good vibe for the show, but it's just... I feel like this is probably better off as a film instead of a show, but I'm going to let it cook. Shining Girls, universally positive ratings, Apple TV Plus original series, I watch it on Apple TV Plus. Elizabeth Moss, Jamie Bell, Wagner Moura, who I recognize that name as the guy who plays the wolf in Puss in Boots, but what I didn't realize is he's Pablo fucking Escobar in Narcos. I find that very weird. Man's got range. Anyway. Amy Brenneman, Philippa Sue, sounds familiar, but I'm not sure. It's okay. Once again, this is another one where the description was a bit weird. Constantly shifting reality. They meant that literally. I didn't know they meant that literally. Because it's sort of like a multiverse type thing. Just chilling, and then all of a sudden, universe switches. She now has a dog instead of a cat. This medical examiner is now a boy instead of a girl, so on. And I went into this not expecting. I expected like political bullshit because Elizabeth Moss is the main character, and just because she did Handmaid's Tale, and just even outside of that, there's just like another two shows I've seen her in that aren't political, but I just didn't like them, like Top of the Lake and Mad Men and West Wing. So when it comes to shows she's in, uh, I don't I don't like very many of them, or well, none of them up to this point. But this is okay. Also, it's weird to see me and Jamie Bell on this because I watched this only a couple of days after I watched Filth, so it's a bit weird seeing him go from this laughing stock to I think he's the villain. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, and he has an American accent and all that. Final review: Blackbird. I have waited a long time for this. What had happened was I watched the first episode around a year ago, and then I didn't actually have Apple. I just was able to get access to the first episode, and watched that. I did the review, and then when I got Apple, for 3 months, I didn't watch it because I was busy with the other shows. But then there was a period where I had a week free trial. Because those 3 months were when Dylan had used it because he wanted to watch Cherry with me and Ginger. And then he just let me use it because there's so many things on Apple I wanted to watch, whereas even though they had Apple now, there were so many things on Apple they wanted to watch, but because it was Apple, they're like, ah, shit, well, we're not going to watch it then because we're not going to get Apple. But I watched episodes 2 to 5 when I had that week free trial, and now a week ago I renewed my Apple because I keep on getting free codes from Curry's because I'm buying shit from them. And I was going to activate it immediately, after my free trial ended, but there was a problem with it, and I assumed it wouldn't work, and I assumed that it was just if you have used your free trial, you can't use the code. So I was going to use my dad's email. He was like, I don't remember my password, and I can't be bothered going through the process. So I gave up, and then I realized, oh shit, I can use my mum's email, and she gave me permission. And then I was like, oh, I'll just try the code again, and it worked. So now I have Apple until sometime in October. So I downloaded this, but I didn't watch it. I watched like half of the first episode of The Credit Room, and then all of Calls, well, say half of Calls, got sick when I was no longer sick, finished Calls, finished the first episode of The Credit Room a couple days later, and then I watched everything that I've already mentioned in this video, plus another 2 shows. So getting back on track and actually saying something about this, there's nothing wrong with it, but I don't get why people praised Paul Walter Hauser's performance in this. It's just, oh, he did a very slightly retarded voice, and that was it. it just, it just didn't really feel special to me. Guess maybe I went in with the wrong expectations. One thing I will say is he looks a lot like the real Larry Hall. Like it's mind blowing. Surprisingly, it wasn't weird seeing Taron Egerton in this, doing drama, because the only things I'd seen him in before this were the Kingsman films. I know that he was in Eddie the Eagle and Rocket Man, but I haven't seen those. As far as I know, they're both comedies, or if not, they at least have comedy elements to them. I don't get why, Paul's performance was praised when fucking Ray Liotta gave a really good performance. Although it does, the fact that he was playing a character so sick around the time that he died, or well, the show aired around the time that he died, it's a bit jarring. I get it wasn't his final role because he did Cocaine Bear and that one Charlie Day made, but it's just like, imagine if Cocaine Bear came out around the time he died instead of Blackbird, and it would just be less of like, what the fuck. I don't get, like, at the end they said that Jimmy still works with the FBI as a profiler. How does him doing this like give him like the qualifications to be a profiler? Unless he did a course in it or something, but I don't think they mentioned that. Unless it was like at the start of the show or something. Like I mean, if it were me, I would probably want to stay on to help, but profiling wouldn't really. They're not the same, and I don't get how he could possibly continue to help them, because the only really thing he could do is go undercover in prisons again. But at some point people will start to recognize, oh, that's the guy that goes undercover in prisons and gets confessions out of people. So they just outright ignore him or kill him. So what the fuck does Jimmy Keene actually do? I think that's all I have to say about the show. Even though, to be honest, in episodes 2, 3, 4, and 5, very, very forgettable. And it's probably just them talking. What I'm trying to say is that it should be bad, but it just isn't. And I don't get it. And moving on, because I've rambled enough. Beginning a middle review. Yakuza Kiwami 2. I started this last week. I had finished... Right, between finishing Kiwami 1, I was going to go immediately on to Kiwami 2. But I noticed that they added a couple games onto PS Plus, the premium section. So, they had like Tomb Raider Legend and Sly Cooper. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'll play those. And then there were a couple more games and so on, and then some things went on sale. So I had played Wolfenstein Old Blood, because it's the only Wolfenstein game I haven't played on PlayStation, because that was just playing it for trophies. And then because Just Cause the season pass went on sale. Bought that, and I was gonna play that, but I was short 2 gigs, so I was gonna play Kiwami 2, and then delete that so I can get the storage, the play Just Cause. But I've downloaded some things since then, and deleting Kiwami 2 will not give me enough. Currently, I have 3 gigs left on my PlayStation. Kiwami 2 is 38 gigs. I need 52. And as far as, like, this is because I have Vanguard on download as well. But I've just downloaded the campaign packs, which are like 11 gigs each. But I'm doing PS4 and PS5 because trophies, so it's like 40 gigs. That's the only reason why I'm doing this so soon / so late. And as of Chapter 8, I have to say, I think this is better than the first game. Both story-wise and gameplay-wise, I was conflicted with both of those at first, but then gameplay, yeah, they've made massive improvements, especially with the combat and sub-stories and all that. And then after story, maybe it's because I took like a 9-month break, I think it is, between playing the first like chapter and a half and the rest of the game. So I didn't really have a good grasp on the story, and I didn't really have the characters memorized. But now that with this game, I do, and I'm not taking like a break to play something else for 9 fucking months. So I have a better grasp on the story. I have the characters memorized for the most part. So it's just, maybe that's the only reason why I think story-wise this is better than the first game. But I guess we'll never know. There was one thing about it that extremely pissed me off, even though it only set me back like 10 minutes, is at the start of chapter 5, I think it is. I went around and did all the sub-stories that were available. And the last one I did was the one where you do a couple training sub-stories with that guy from the first game. And then, like, the third or fourth mission with him, you fight him. And it's the first time I died in the game. And it was like, do you want to continue? And I assume what they meant by do you want to continue is, do you want to try and fight him again? So I said no. But it turns out that do you want to continue just puts you back outside the mission, and then hitting no puts you at the main fucking menu. And the problem with that is the only time I really save the game is at the end of the fucking chapters, so I had to redo all the sub-stories again. But because I had already read the subtitles the first time, I didn't need to this time. I just skipped over all the things which like heavily cut down on the time that it took. But it did still really piss me off. I find it weird having like that sort of hunger system and all that. Normally I wouldn't really follow that, but because you get skill points from eating and drinking and all, I've been doing it. I've actually had literally everything. And I've got all the skill points, and something that is somewhat annoying about it is, and this is a bit of a sidestep into something else I wanted to mention about the game. That cabaret club side shit sucks. Hate it. No clue what I'm doing. And I keep on like when you go into the menu, it says, oh, you can buy 2 skills, and it's both number 4, the Cabaret Club. And it's just annoying that, like, I can't just do something so the game knows I'm not buying these, because I'm not playing that part of the game again, ever. And it added on because they added, like, the Majima Construction Club, which I might do more of that again, I'm not sure. And there's just things that aren't really my play style, like the parry. I'm a block man. That's another thing, sidestepping in this still isn't the best, but they have improved on the blocking. Well, either they've improved or I've improved, I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm just going to end it here. I got this is one of the more rantier videos I've did, which is saying a lot because, it's me. But the only thing I really want to say about that is sorry, and before I go, I just want to give some, like, I don't want to say updates because that sounds weird, but that's basically what it is. Currently, there is 1, 2, 3, 4 films in the cinema that I want to see. One of them I might watch tomorrow. I'm not sure. And like there's no problem that I can just go and do it. 2 of them I want to see with mates. One of them has been out for like 2 or 3 weeks now. But my mate hasn't said anything. I get that he hasn't been on all that often, but still. So I might just end up going on my own. The other one, it's only just out, so there might not be plenty of time to watch it, but still, it's not like he's been pissing about. And the last film, actually, yeah, that one I also want to see him made, but because it's a Donald exclusive, he might not go. There probably are films coming out pretty soon that I want to see as well. I can only go up to Thursday on this, and as of Thursday, no changes. Everything that's there is everything that's playing today. Then I have to click on Saturday. The only thing that's showing are Twisters, which I don't want to watch. Forrest Gump, which I probably should, but nah. And the Blur documentary, but I can't watch that for free because it's a special. So, until further notice, between all of these, like after all of them, there's nothing until Deadpool, which I should be watching on the 30th. As for shows, nothing soon. Like, I was just able to watch all the stuff that I've been watching because I was sick, and also I've been a passenger in a car driving around a lot in the past week. I was up at my granny's last Sunday, then I was going to Antrim on Wednesday, then I was going to Dublin on Friday, and that's what gave me the opportunity to watch all that, but none of that's happening anymore. But they were like, 2 of them were a one-time thing, and one of them was supposed to be weekly, but I'm not going to go back to her eyes again. So, I'll get around to it eventually, especially since I want to make as much use of my 3 months of Apple as I can. I just want to, like, at least whittle them down quite a bit. I've been, with the exception of Serving, I've been doing the shorter ones, the ones that like less than 10 episodes, but the problem is that I've watched most of the ones that are cancelled and have less than 10 episodes. Like, the only things left that have less than 10 are the ones that are renewed, like Hijack. And yeah, it'd be great to like get them done. But it's just I'd rather I'd rather watch the ones that I can just watch it and then that's me done. But with playing all the Yakuza games, like yeah, I want to play all the games that I have, which is there is quite a lot, and it keeps on growing the amount through sales and stuff that keep on adding through PS Plus. Like currently, we've got all the Yakuza games, Lego Star Wars 2, Ratchet and Clank, A Way Out, Tomb Raider, Far Cry Primal, COD Vanguard, Modern Warfare 5, Lego Harry Potter, Last of Us 2, Greatest Attorney Chronicles, and Lego DC Supervillains. Like, I want to watch all those before I get back into watching things at home. At home, I just I find it more of a struggle to watch things. I don't know why. I just ranted a lot there. I've already said twice that I need to stop that. I can only apologize. Sorry.